Hello, it's Charles Lewis again, coming from Diamond Mind Studios, where we encourage you to use the power of your beautiful mind to rise to your highest potential. The title of today's video is Your Faith is Required. Happy Independence Day. I think this video is fitting because I'm going to encourage you to be a little bit more independent when you're striving for your manifestations. A lot of times we tend to ask other people to pray for us. You see people on social media all the time. They always got something that they want you to pray for them for. They just, whether it's them or a family member or this and that. And that's all fine and dandy. A lot of it, I think, is pretty much using troubled times to gain attention. That's a whole nother video. But if you notice that the people that's always asking for prayer, and there's always some type of tragedy or something for you to feel sorry for them about. It's always something. They always have something to complain about. The reason being is because when you focus on things that aren't comfortable, you're just going to attract more of it into your life. You know, jumping on the post and saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope it gets better." We think we're doing them a service, by, being sympathetic. But we're actually helping them remain where they are. We are enabling that dysfunction. Basically, it's your faith that God requires. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. Okay? So let's just look at the example that Jesus gave us. With the exception of raising Lazarus from the dead, almost every miracle that he performed required faith on the part of the recipient. So basically, he would heal somebody and he would always say, "It's your faith that made you whole." He marveled at the woman with the issue of blood's faith, right? Because he felt the power leave him when she touched his cloak. And when he finally cornered her and asked her what was going on, she said, "I just kept saying to myself." And a lot of the one version says she kept saying to herself, "If I could just touch the hem of his garment, I would be made whole." And she was made whole. And when he told her that, he marveled at her faith. And this goes on. I mean, so many examples of how he credited the recipient's faith for the actual miracle. So not taking any power away from him or, trying to minimize what he did, but he said it himself, that it was your faith that made this possible. So, when you go through tumultuous situations, I guess it's good to have somebody to talk to, but you want to keep that to a minimum. You don't want to continually tell that tragic story, right? Because, like I told you in a video yesterday, if you continue to think negatively, you're going to continue to speak negatively. That puts you in a different mindset. That puts you're going to behave differently. Your circumstances are going to reflect the initial thought, what you said, and the behavior that followed it. So it's your faith that God is looking for, right? People cannot believe for you. Your faith is required, right? You can't see it happening. You can't bring yourself to believe for it. So you're asking somebody else that you know is a power. And this is the thing. Like, there's nothing wrong with praying for people. I mean, I've seen miraculous things happen for people that pray for other people. But the majority of the time when I see people have breakthroughs, it's because of their faith. I think the fact that Jesus highlighted this in his ministry points to that. Like, that's the most important. The most important thing is not me having faith that you're going to be healed, or me having faith that your circumstances are going to improve. It's you having faith, right? Like, you'll get anything you believe, whether it's good or bad. If Confucius said the man that thinks he can and the man that thinks he can't are both right, right? And he's speaking about this power, this law. Faith it's the most powerful force in the universe. It's what creates your circumstances, right? And it is a bit difficult if you haven't used it. It's just like any muscle. The more you use it, the more proficient you become with its usage, because you have victories to look back on. Like, a lot of times they say, start out with something small, like maybe a parking spot or something at Walmart. Like, just have faith that you're going to get a good parking spot. Okay, boom. Then maybe have faith for a certain type of job. Okay, then maybe have faith for a certain type of income. Then have faith for a home. Have faith for a $1 million home. It does not, God doesn't have categories in their mind as to, there's no difference to God between your request for $5 or $5 billion, right? The only thing that he looks at, or the universe, or whatever you want to call it, the only thing that's taken in consideration is your belief in that. So if it takes you believing in these little small things to build yourself up and give you the level of confidence that it takes to believe for something a little bit larger, then do that, right? But it doesn't matter. Like, anything that you ask God for is small. Like, $1 billion. Think if you just wanted $1 billion. Think of how minuscule that is to the person, that the deity that created the universe. There is no comparison. $1 billion is nothing. We, because of our mindset, think it's a really, really, really big ask. But to God, it's, okay, whatever. You want $1 billion? Okay. Do you believe I'm going to give you $1 billion? That's what everything boils down to. Where's your faith in this whole thing? Because it's going to be tested. It's going to be tested. You're believing for something, and I'm telling you, the circumstances are not going to give you any indication that what you are believing for will come to pass. And you have to remain steadfast in embodying your wish fulfilled. You start at the end. Picture what you want to happen, and then you stay there. And then you embody that energy of what it would feel like if you've already received what you're asking for, and you automatically will attract it. It's just how it works. It's just the laws of the universe, okay? So when you know how the law works, you can manipulate it into your favor, okay? So it's not about ignoring 3D circumstances. It's just about being indifferent to them. It's not going to look, touch, smell, taste, or feel like what you want it to be. It's not, I mean, that's where the faith comes in at. That's your way of earning what you're believing for, is by being indifferent to the circumstances that are contrary to what you're believing for until you receive it. So, just a little quick video. Be safe out here in the holiday today. I mean, it's, people are going to be drinking, driving, stuff like that. So, just be safe. Affirm your hedge of protection that surrounds you like a shield. Okay? And have a good day. Enjoy your family. And remember that your faith is required. Have a good day. God bless.